up, y'all? It's your girl, Lex in a Box, and I am here at FG3 Fine Art Productions with my boy, Mr. Hit That. What's up, man?
Yes, sir.
Look, it's the pearly whites for me.
Oh, man, hey, man.
You killing it, man. Thanks for taking the time out, being a part of Lex in a Box. You gotta hit that,
Legs in the box.
There you go, man. Thank you for coming out, man. How you feeling today?
I'm cool, man. It's a vibe, man. I like the ambiance. I see you upgrade your shit. Got all the little pretty stuff. I see you, baby.
For sure, man. Thank you for that. That's a huge compliment because, we trying out here. FG3 Fine Art Productions. We trying out here in these streets, man.
Got the nice little painting and stuff.
Got the painting.
I'm thinking about going to buy me a canvas right now.
You might need to. All right, man. So I want to talk about you. I want to talk about you. Thank you for being a part. There you go.
Let me get myself together because I know you're
comfortable. You're in the box right now. You're in my space. You're within my 6 feet. So
for sure.
Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. You're here from Dallas. What part of the cliff are you from? Oak Cliff, that is.
No.
What? You're not from Oak Cliff?
No.
Pleasant Grove.
Come on, man.
Lincoln.
Grove side.
I know it.
6'5", 700 Cheyenne boys, man. You know how we doing it.
Aye, for sure.
We homegrown. We not home flown. You did.
Come on, homegrown.
Yeah.
There you go. Look, you putting me onto some new lingo now.
No, for sure. Like, that's what you tell, like, when people really from the city, we say we grown in, we not flown in.
And that's real.
But salute the people that's flown in, though. But, it's just a different energy when you come from the soil.
There you go. Now, talk about that energy a little bit. How was the energy growing up in Pleasant Grove? Okay.
It's cool. It's my side of town, it come from, they had my era, like my age group, that was more of a hit lick era. You know what I'm saying? Gangster, fighting in the club, but not shooting. We wasn't on the shooting team. We just really like fighting. So it's like, it's different now to see how the young generation act now. You know how they always say the older people be like, oh, they wildin'. Now we were wildin' here too. It's just time. Every time it's gonna always progress. So,
it gets a little bit more wilder.
It don't even get wild. It's just their version of it.
There you go.
It's like, how back in the 70s they wearing bell bottoms and type of vibe. Mm-hmm. 90s they were wearing baggy clothes. Then now we wearing skinny jeans. So it's just a different era. So it ain't like you can talk down on them. It's just different vibes.
There you go. You can't talk down on them because, hey, everybody had their dirt, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
I used to wear like a size 40, and now I wear 32, so I caught both sides of the game.
There you go. Had to play both sides, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Now, talk about a little bit of how this whole Mr. Hit That came about. We know you started off dancing. Take us through that whole transition.
It all started from just going in the club. You know what I'm saying? One of the hottest promoters in the game was J-Rock. He had, the infamous, the Dallas, the iconic Club Cirque. DMX on Sundays, Club Shay on Saturdays, all that whole shindig. Mm-hmm. So for us to actually be like growing up, graduating from high school, entering the club scene, we just started dancing. And then it just like the crowd, I guess, gravitated to me. And then he was an MC at the time, so he was like, man, that boy be hitting that hoe. I'm going to call him Mr. Hit That Hoe.
Some other shit. She a bad little crowd. She a bad little crowd. Watch the way she shake it. Watch the way she shake it. Yeah. Watch the way she shake it. That nigga be killing
that hoe. Now, for it to even create a culture, you had to be somewhat known, right? Yeah. So what were you known for? What sparked this attention?
At that time, I was a nobody. I was just a dude, a college kid. You know what I'm saying? With a little extra, little money. What's that grant? The grant loan money.
There you go.
So,
little extra coin.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's how it started off, and then, you know what I'm saying? It just, Dallas used to have a big old dance contest and whatever. And during that time, I just, like, my partner was like, man, you got to get him one of them. So I got him one of them, and I started doing it every week, and it just became a name.
All right, so you had to be pretty known for these videos of you dancing to go viral.
You know what, that crazy? At that time, it was like, I did not want to do the videos. Like, I dreaded, like, recording, because I was always thinking, like, if they can type on the internet because I knew where the internet was going at the time. I knew it was gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I was like, if they can find it, they can copy my moves, and now it's like I'm gonna be competing with myself in the club. But if you see me in the club for like 2 minutes, you can't remember it. And at that time, people didn't have cell phones like that, and it was just you had to be there to experience it. So that's what made that era so great because you couldn't you either gonna hear about it, you gonna miss it, or you was there. That's why people talk about it so much because it wasn't phones as much then, and it wasn't just social media wasn't as big then. So it was like if you didn't go out and party, you don't know what's going on in the world in that era. So that's what made it dope. But now it's like if you miss a party, you could just go on somebody's Snapchat that's popping, and you could be like you could relive those moments.
There you go.
But you couldn't relive those moments then because we didn't have that type of setup.
Exactly. So. I know you're really, really popular for the boogie movement.
For sure.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I'm not gonna lie. Can I be honest? It's going over my head.
The boogie movement.
Help me out.
All right, let me give you an example of the boogie movement. It was like it was the golden era after people realized what we went through. As going through it, it was fun because everybody had an era. Yeah, Atlanta, they had the snap. They was doing the Bankhead Bounce and all that little vibe. You had A-Town Stomp and all that in Atlanta.
Right.
And then Cali, you had the like they look crip walking, be walking, they look gang era.
Yeah.
So Dallas, we formed a dance era. So for us to have that era, it was dope. But we didn't realize in how big the magnitude of the boogie movement was until it was over because we captivated the whole country. We made everybody make it cool to dance. We made Houston one of the most gangster cities like adapt to us and start doing that. And the boogie movement, some would say it kind of like molded the B Kings, which he'll say for sure, B Kings. And then with the B Kings, it changed the culture of the rap, making okay, it's so cool. It's okay to not just rap about goddamn me syrup and riding foes and slabs. It changed that, which thus made one of the biggest artists in my eyes, Sauce Walker, with the drip, because it came from that Dallas. It was different, and then Dallas never had no identity then. So once we formed our identity, it was like it was that magnitude. It was that big. There was a lot of controversy, a lot of fights, a lot of deaths behind just people dancing. It was huge.
You know, I want to say something about this because I feel like you're a Dallas legend. Let me just say that.
I appreciate that.
You're a Dallas legend, and you speak a lot about what's going on in Dallas from Mo3 to what happened at Ace of Diamonds that night. You know, you speak a lot about what's going on in the Dallas community and hip-hop culture. Where does that stem from, and why you?
I'm blessed to see all the eras. Like the first Dallas song ever made was "Hit the Dance Floor." I was a part of that. Like I helped edit that because I went to Lincoln, so it was a radio television. So when they made the music video, we helped edit that. So that song is one of the first songs to start the Dallas movement. You know what I'm saying? A part of the Big Chief. I seen it. We lived it. Like a lot of people didn't actually like experience it, so they don't know. So when people speak on the beefs between all the artists, that shit been going on. It ain't nothing new. It just people was unaware of it before, and they didn't understand the magnitude of it. But the beefs made people rap harder. Like all the back and forth, the killings, the murders, the fights. It made artists rap harder. It made them because it made them have something more to talk about. It made Mo3 go harder.
Yeah.
With his verses. That's why you felt it because you know what he was speaking on. He lived it. It made Yella go harder. It made him. It made Trap Boy go harder. It made Tom Tom go harder. It made Young Nino go harder. So the whole DSR movement, Big Tuck, all these songs, all these anthems came from drama. Southside the Realest. We would have never heard Southside the Realest if it wasn't Oak Cliff. If Oak Cliff didn't get into it with South Dallas in those eras, it would have never been that.
Right.
If we didn't have a Fur and everybody used to have those infamous fights at the Fur on DISD Day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't have been none of that. So you got to understand the beef was a co-ascendant of great music. It just defined the culture. And, like, it sucks that it takes that, but it's like war. You don't get the oil, you don't get the resources from those lands to keep our country prosperous without the drama. So you got, it's a love and hate relationship to a certain extent, but it's a part of the Dallas culture.
Got it. Now you speak a lot about drama. You speak a lot about beef. And just about a lot of different topics in hip hop.
Right.
How do you stay out of it? Even though you speak on it, you're not in the way. You mind your own business at the same time. How do you do that?
It's not even that I stay out of it. It's just some people just have the opportunity to just be real. Because once you grown up in it and you was around it from day one, and you get a choice to pick your side.
Definitely.
And then you get a choice to stay neutral. Sometimes it sucks. Like you might lose friendships, you might lose relationships with it, but it's just the way. That's the law of the land. Because sometimes you can't play both sides, but sometimes you can't stay neutral. Sometimes you gotta force your hand. So I'm blessed because it's a blessing to be able to just try to stay neutral. And as a person, I always want to fix it. You know what I'm saying? But everything, some shit ain't meant to be fixed. Some shit you gotta play out, and it sucks how it happens. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, the goal is to just try to keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying, try to keep the culture forward, keep Dallas moving forward, and then for the people that we lost, you know what I'm saying, keep that memory alive.
That part.
You know what I'm saying, that's all you can do.
Yeah. Talk about a little bit about how dancing, getting that notoriety, good notoriety, how did that come into K104 and being on an air personality? Because I remember you
it was crazy.
Literally first stepping foot into the station. And now you've taken over Sunday night. What do we call Sunday night?
Street Swag Sunday.
Street Swag Sunday. Yes, you've taken over that, which is where we play, or where you guys play local music and local hip hop artists, So talk about a little bit how this having an image here led to you being at the station.
It's dope because I always want to be on the radio. I remember.
Talk about how you been wanting it or tried for 3 years.
Yeah, like
it was not an overnight success.
Yeah, so it's like I was going in, like doing the interviews, doing the resumes, wearing a shirt and tie. Like, man, I was like, man, just put me on the streets and just let me do something. Let me get in there. And they, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like, just keep working. It's gonna be a time for you. It's gonna be a time for you. 3 years went by, and I was like, man, you know what? Forget it. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna just grind hard in the streets. And if it's meant to be, it's gonna be meant to be. But at that point, I was like, man, it ain't gonna happen. And then my guy Swerve called me one day, and he was like, he needed me to DJ an event.
Shout out DJ Swerve.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he was the first guy to call. I never forget that. Swerve called me, and I was like, all right, bet. And then, like, we did it. And then I remember, like, first walking in, I remember shaking White Gary's hand.
Yeah.
And White Gary like, man, I've been trying to catch you for a long time. But I had never met White Gary before.
Right.
So, boom. We did the event, rocked it or whatever. And then, like, I got a call, like, a week later, like, hey, man, like, you did a good job. I'm like, I appreciate it, because I'm like, shit, it's my goal to try to do a good job.
Yeah.
And then he was like, man, how would you feel about just coming in and just doing like a little, just sitting in with the Young Texas Radio and see how they go. And at that time, it was Ariel Grind. It was Ariel Grind and Chris Cole.
There you go.
And so I was like, all right, whatever. Like, all right, because y'all not going to hire me. Y'all done turned me down so much. Y'all ain't going to hire me.
That's what you had your mind set on back then.
My mom
just knew it wasn't going to happen.
My mom said,
really?
This shit not going to work. It's not going to work. So
little did he know.
So shit, did that shit. Came in, did that shit. And it was like, all right, cool. And they were like, can you come back next week? And I was like, all right, cool. And then, nah, and that was it. For like 2 weeks or whatever.
Okay.
And then they was like, hey man, come in. Hey, what you doing right now? I still remember the cop, like the cop. Hey, what you doing right now? I want you to come in, And then I got a call from Gio. And I was like,
once you get that call from Gio?
Yeah, I still didn't believe this shit because I got tired of goddamn turning. I gotta get that turned down.
You got exhausted.
So boom, I came up there and they was like, so what you think? Like, how did you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, shit dope, man. That's what I've been wanting to do. Oh, for real? All right, I want you to come back again next week. And then came back again. And then they was like, all right, here's all the forms. Here's this. And I was like, so what this mean? And they was like, we're gonna hire you.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, shut up, dog. Like, and it's been up ever since, dog. So it's a blessing. It's a big blessing, especially coming from. I went to radio television school.
Nice. Where?
At Lincoln. You know, it's a magnet. So
okay, in high school.
Yeah, so that shit was dope as hell. And I had did the radio station at my college. So I was like, man, I'm not to do this shit in my sleep. But like me not knowing there's so much other shit to learn.
Yep.
But I'm like, I can do it. And then I talk so fucking much anyway. And
right.
I was like, man, I can do this shit. So when I got the opportunity to do it, and then now we're here, it's a blessing. It's a big blessing.
It's a big blessing, and it's all faith, because at the end of the day, even though you felt like they weren't going to hire you, you still put forth that effort.
Because you gotta. It's like whatever you do, whatever your dream is, you gotta keep chasing that dream.
There you go.
Even if you get sidetracked, and you gotta start like manifesting your blessings in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know what you're doing that someone's watching, or you don't know who you motivated, or you don't know. So when you working, just keep working with a positive attitude.
There you go.
It be hard though. It be hard, but at the same time, shit, you just gotta keep going because you never know.
Right, you never know.
Like I've been watching your shit like since he dropped, right?
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? I seen the transition. So when I walked in and looked at the whole setup, I was like, man, okay, she didn't grow. So it's dope to see the growth with like everybody because shit, before the radio, when I think I tried to start getting hired like in 2011, 2011 to 2013. I got turned down those years, 2011, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So 2014, RP my man Diparachi. He came up with a game plan like, hey bro, let's do a podcast. And I was like, we gonna make some money? He was like, nah, bro, it ain't about the money, bro. It's just for the culture.
Right.
We gotta do it, bro. We gotta give all the artists a revenue because the radio ain't doing it such and such at the time. So we started it up from 14, 15. From 15, because the whole year of 2014, I just didn't buy into that shit. I was like, man, fuck it. 2015, 2016, 2017, we did that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that opened up people's eyes and they paid attention because we get hella views. We was the first people to interview Yellow Beezies, the Mo 3s, the Trap Boys, the Lil Runnies, like giving them a platform to actually speak and like talk and like with that podcast, we was the first people to interview the Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, like all these rappers that was like that's big now. They came through our podcast. So to have that honor and that privilege to actually do that shit, and it was just dope. So that transition from the podcast to the radio. So it's like if you got a dream, just start somewhere and go from there. You never know what. And even if you fail, at least you can say, hey man, I went out swinging.
There you go. Because
if you ain't in a fight, once you only lose when you quit. Like it's bottom line, you can't.
Right, you're gonna have some no's. You're gonna have a lot of no's. You may not have many yeses, but like you say, it's all about.
You only lose when you quit.
To keep going. All right. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for stopping by Lex in the Box. I really appreciate it. Before we get out of here, my friend, of course we are sponsored by the Sid Factory. And I want you to try some treats.
I need some cookies, man.
Okay, good. I know you got a sweet tooth anyway, right?
Half pint. I need a monthly shipment.
You hear that, half pint?
Yeah, for sure.
Monthly subscription. Fatima, you hear that?
That way.